This is the Hammersmith flyover, London's £1 million attack on one of her oldest traffic bottlenecks, and Britain's first attempt towards a modern urban motorway. It is the latest link in a system intended to keep the traffic flowing freely towards London Airport and the west. But in Europe, there is nothing new about roads like this. As early as the 1930s, Hitler started his Autobahn highway system to speed the German war machine. Since 1945, Western Germany has expanded and improved the network until today she has some 1,800 miles of motorway for her 8.5 million vehicles. But even this is not enough, and to meet the staggering increase of German traffic, 4 times as many vehicles as there were 10 years ago, the authorities have taken drastic action. A road can only be as safe as the people who use it, and the traffic patrol maintains a watching beat for the inconsiderate and therefore dangerous driver. As on British motorways, there's no stopping on the Autobahns. First, the high-performance police car makes short work of the offender's acceleration, and then shepherds him into the nearest lay-by. The highway is no place for conversation, and in Germany, the little chat to follow may take quite a time. However, it's comforting to see the policeman salute, even if he does carry a gun, as he starts a routine investigation of identity, ownership, insurance. But could this be a foretaste of things to come in Britain? A spot check on the alcohol content of a suspect's breath. This check is not accepted as a proof of drunkenness in Germany. If the result is positive, a further blood test has to be taken at the nearest police station before a conviction can be obtained. Nevertheless, this driver's complexion might well change color with the test tube. He's for the bloodletting. High-speed police for high-speed roads. The Germans are dressed and equipped for the part. Even so, it's quicker by air, and the military value of aerial reconnaissance has not been forgotten by the police who wage war on the traffic problem. The helicopter crew are in radio contact with patrol cars as well as their headquarters. German experience proves that 2-lane motorways can become jammed much more readily than the 3 lanes of Britain's M1. And in such a crisis, the helicopter may be the only way for the police to arrive quickly on the scene. And having had a personal overall picture of the problem, the airborne officer can immediately deploy his forces. In Britain, we are now building hundreds of miles of 2-lane motorways. Will our police also have to have helicopters to untangle the jams which such roads inevitably cause? German enthusiasm for efficiency. Every car must be tested every second year, regardless of its age. Sharp projections, such as badges and even knock-on hubcaps, are banned. Lighting and brake efficiency is measured. The test date is stamped on the vehicle's registration number. Every city in the world has its rush hour problem. In Munich, the police have learned from railway practice, and the duty control officer can see the position of every traffic signal in the city centre. All the lights are linked, and by adjusting their phase of operation in any given direction, the officer can speed the flow of traffic in time to prevent a jam. This green wave technique doesn't solve the problem of overcrowded streets, but it certainly helps to keep the traffic moving sensibly. Even more advanced is the closed-circuit television at Munich Police Headquarters. Remotely controlled cameras, protected from rain and sun, scan the streets of the city centre, presenting in the control room a complete traffic situation report so fast that its speed even beats the film camera shutter. And for once, we see bars where there aren't any. And although this very expensive apparatus was installed primarily for traffic control, its deterrent effect on any would-be criminal must be enormous. A policeman can't always be on the spot, but this way he can take a very close look at anything that may attract his attention on the watching beat. The city traffic rolls by, and in this police headquarters are perhaps the only television screens in the world that nobody particularly wants to be on. Perhaps it's not really surprising that in the homeland of the Zeppelin, the police should even use this on special occasions. And as an observation platform for traffic control, the airship has much to commend it. At least you can see where you want to go, and if you make a mistake, you don't have to go on for miles out of your way as you do down there on some of those highly complex junctions and flyovers on the Autobahn. And methods as complicated and costly as these are the only way to keep the traffic of the 1960s on the move in any degree of safety. For city centre observation, the airship enthusiasts claim their craft to be less noisy and therefore less annoying than a helicopter. And it could, presumably, even sneak in silently on the wind to take the number of a carelessly parked car. Now here's a high-speed camera technique with a difference, and it's not the light, but the law that is the limiting factor. In Germany, they're just as keen on the built-up area speed limit as we are in Britain, and by they, I mean all concerned. However, over there, the police have developed this camera array which records the police car's distance behind the offending car and the speed indicated on the specially mounted police speedometer at the time. A series of pictures covering the requisite distance and time present a case for the prosecution which it would be very difficult to crack. At the same time, the motorist has at least the satisfaction of knowing that he hasn't been framed, except that is in the camera. But, despite all their advanced methods, the West German police still have to deal with alarming road accident figures. Last year, their traffic increased by approximately 10%, the number of accidents by 24%. In Britain, the figures were 7 and 4, respectively. And behind every official record lies a human tragedy, whatever the cause. One problem is to keep the traffic moving. Another is to keep its speed within the law, and the sharp eye of radar is also on the watching beat. But the trouble with radar is that it cannot differentiate. To it, one car looks like another, or like a fire engine. Concealed policemen up the road can act on the radar operator's report, but the method is not foolproof. Mistakes can be made, and not infrequently they are. A further argument, surely, against the system of on-the-spot fines. However, while the police deserve every assistance, of course, they don't always get it.